So, and they said there was a coupon number, and they wrote the coupon number in. So,
That's annually for what, 5 sites or something?
so it's $60 for the,
Annual.
for the extra sites annually. So those are bought, we have them. Jason will have them redirect to townofstanford.org.
It's not Gov, one of them?
No, .gov is different and it's very expensive. We can look into it if the municipality thinks it's really important to have .gov. But there is a .us. There is a .us you can have. And that's one of the ones we bought. We bought .com, .info, .net, and .us. So if you want to sound more governmental, we can change to .us.
A bit more money.
Right, good. There you go. All right. The next thing on the agenda is garage committee updates. Chris?
Yeah, I received the maps from Ray Pikowski from Moore Associates about 2 different options from the neighboring property. Purchasing a section and also an easement. I gave Bill the maps. He's going to draft a letter to send to that to the owner of the property, see if it's an option. So that's where we stand right now.
Chris, what other options have been looked at?
Well,
I mean, why are we suddenly jumping into what would cost a great deal more money?
the main issue is floodplain. We
And
want
I
to make sure we exhaust every option.
Okay.
Because, where the proposed site is now is close to the floodplain.
How close?
And we are, I think the maps were hit down, you remember, was it 2? Do you remember the floodplain?
It was pretty close.
It was-
if I remember.
Yeah, I don't remember off the top of my head. You mean in feet, how far away it was? It was pretty close though.
I don't remember, the floodplain didn't change at all. They,
Right.
DEC revised it, but there was no changes. But we have one other location that was an option, but the problem is site distance, pulling out. So that's why we want to make sure that we look into this.
So by the time the garage committee is able to have a public hearing and talk about a final determination, the garage committee will be able to say they have left no stone unturned in terms of where to site it and what is the best place to put it and what will be the best cost of the town.
The issue with the other site is that if there ever was, it was flooded, and then the question arises, how come we never looked over here? We wanted to make sure that everything was looked at. Is the respondent being given a time frame to respond? I was thinking 30 days.
I got the map today, so I'm looking at it. I've got to do some work, and what I'll do is I'll do a draft of the letter. I'll talk to Rachel Kowski as well, and my hope would be that we'd have an answer back probably by next board meeting.
Good, so we can ask that they need to respond within 30 days.
We're asking for the easement.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I want to say, and by the way, you're under a huge time frame to get back to us. But
Yeah.
we can artful over.
Thank you. All right. Under new business, AT&T Willowbrook cell tower application, special use permit. I think given the information we were given tonight and the fact that we have adjourned the public hearing and have not closed it, and we'll be waiting for further comment, that we should postpone any town board action on this application until our May town board meeting.
Second.
Any comment? All those in favor? The next item is the Millbrook School Tennis Court moratorium waiver request. We will close that public hearing. Having heard from the planning board that it didn't seem to be anything out of the ordinary and was a pretty routine matter, I'd like to make a motion that we grant the moratorium waiver request for the Millbrook School platform tennis court. Any discussion, board members? All those in favor? Okay. The next item on the agenda is a zoning board of appeals vacancy, which was created when Chris Flynn came on the town board. We had 2 letters of interest. One was from a Mr. Goulet, Frederick Goulet, who wrote a very lovely letter, who said he lives in town, retired from the New York State Police. I have no experience with the zoning board and little knowledge of zoning laws. However, if your office is still in need of a volunteer for the ZBA, please feel free to contact me, as I would be glad to assist the board and attend the monthly Wednesday meeting. It's lovely to have a volunteer from somebody who's never volunteered before. We also had a letter of interest from Larry Clark, who said he would like to be considered for appointment to the open position, resident of the town of Stanford for 38 years, also a background in law enforcement. He has experience as chairman of the zoning board for a very long time, for 12 years, as well as the Board of Assessment Review for 6 years. He has served approximately 1 year on the town of Stanford Town Board. And we have a letter from the current chair of the zoning board recommending Larry Clark. I understand that Larry Clark, this is from Jerry Lerner, the chair of the ZBA. I understand that Larry Clark and at least one other person has applied for the open ZBA position. As you all know, Larry has been a past chair of the ZBA. He only resigned to run for public office. As a ZBA member, when Larry was chair, I can say that he performed his duties remarkably. Every applicant that came before us was treated with respect and understanding. He is extremely knowledgeable about our zoning code and its good points and where it needs improvement. Most of all, he understands our community and its goals and the balancing that is required when an applicant comes before the ZBA, which after all is a board of last resort for all town residents. Therefore, I recommend Larry Clark, this is from Jerry Lerner, to fill the current vacancy on the town of Stanford ZBA.
May I ask Mr. Lerner a question?
Certainly.
Jerry, is that a personal recommendation or is it a committee recommendation? It's a personal, okay. So the committee has not yet considered either of these
We
applicants?
didn't know he applied.
Okay.
But you never interviewed Frederick Goulet.
No, we don't do
That only-
interviews. You people do
That
the
only came
That
April
has-
2nd.
that hasn't been our practice
It has been the town board's practice.
in terms of ZBA.
As far as I know, yeah.
Yeah, my experience has been that the committee interviews and makes a recommendation to the board, which we generally accept.
In the past, when we had a vacancy, there was never an opportunity.
I was on the zoning board for 7 years, and I've
Never
never
done
interviewed
that.
anyone. I recommend Larry, I was on the zoning board for over 7 years.
Well, I'm in favor of Larry too. I was just interested in the procedural piece of it, since the other committees do that.
Yeah, we never did, I'm sorry.
Would you like us to?
I would not like to hold up the ZBA in filling their seat, but
No,
I
but in the
think,
future, would you?
I think that's a
From my-
matter of policy that the town board
I
should
think
think
I
about in
should
terms
think
of all
about it.
boards and
I
committees.
think so too.
yeah.
Not just in one particular
Yeah.
committee. I mean, it has to be for
Across the
everything, and I
board.
think